Suresh Prabhu ji, 2-3 minutes.
Sir, the bill, of course, is most welcome because this is trying to seek to provide a legal cover for extension of railway to Noida. But sir, I was just wondering, the Commonwealth Games are due in October 2010, so I'm sure, hopefully, the railway network should be ready before that. And now we are bringing in the bill in month of February 2009. So, it could have been brought early. It could have been started when the work started. Actually, probably the bill could have been introduced in the parliament. But sir, I was just thinking, why do you actually want to bring such amendments only when you are trying to extend the reach of the railways beyond a particular point? So if you can think about a comprehensive law to bring about one single law for the whole metro network in India, and only then you can say that whenever you want to probably extend it, it's just by notification you can extend it. Here you want to now amend the law only because there is now it is extended from central Delhi region to the little outer Delhi. So one part. Secondly, sir, you can very easily achieve this by bringing one single law, and if at all you want to make it now, for some states may like to take a stake in the railway operations in particular state, you could have subsidiaries for that. So I think please think about a legislation which then Parliament need not keep passing amendments from time to time. One single legislation can serve the purpose of bringing the whole India will be covered by this. And if you at all that particular railway want to do a extension and particular state government wants to take capital into that, you can have a subsidiary. Sir, need for metro cannot be overemphasized because this is the really needed, particularly in the days of climate change when we are realizing that public transport has to be encouraged and not private transport, which unfortunately has been our policy for a long time. We have been allowing more cars to come on the road and not preventing cars from coming on the road. So that has been a wrong policy pursued, and metro is the right answer to that. To do that, I am thinking of making sure that optimum utilization of land really takes place. Metros work below the surface, and that's very important because we have anyway for the India, we have only 2.2% of the land with 17% of population, but that too, urban land is very, very small. And therefore, the pressure of population on land is too much. So unless you actually make sure that metros operate below the surface, it's not going to work. Like many of these stretches in Delhi, metro is going over the surface. So that really is not you making optimum use of the land itself. So that's something which I'm sure you'll look at. Also, take a good example of Tokyo, where metro corporation does not work in isolation of the other development work that takes place in the city. Each and every inch of land in Tokyo has been so effectively used, so the overall Tokyo population, the extended Tokyo population is more than 45 million. So therefore, this can actually help. So I think metro corporation has to work in tandem with other agencies of that particular city and ensure that proper utilization of land really takes place. So urban transportation is an extremely important issue now for us. And there again, I would like to support the point that was made by my friend, that unfortunately, while, as I said earlier, that we are trying to encourage private transport as opposed to public transport, now we are not trying to encourage either cycling. There are no specific roads, which are no lanes on any road in India, which are reserved only for bicycles. So what are the message you are trying to give to the people? That don't use bicycles, use cars. Is that we want? Or we want bicycles to be used? So I think in urban planning, you must ensure that there are more and more lanes reserved exclusively for the bicycles as well as for the commuters who would like to walk on the road. Because this is something, if you really look at it, even if you have public transport, there are at least 90% of people who will actually be walking rather than commuting. And therefore, you must try to ensure that that balance also is properly maintained. And therefore, of course, I support the bill. And knowing Dr. Jaipal Reddy, I'm sure whatever he does a good job. So I'm sure he'll also do a good job, and hopefully this will be ready before the Commonwealth Games. Otherwise, Commonwealth Games will be ready, and then we'll be actually talking about the infrastructure which will follow later on. So I hope that doesn't happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.